You're going to find this Veterans Day story is different. It's not a battle action story about some brave soldier or Marine's heroic and selfless courage in combat. Indeed, those stories are very important to the tradition of honoring our veterans on this day. But this story, I feel, is just as important because it too honors something of heroic proportions. This story is about the legacy found in a truly inspirational piece of combat art. I feel strongly that all Army Huey chopper pilots, their crew chiefs and gunners need to see this special piece of canvas. And as for you tough guys out there, the 11 Bravos, our beloved brave grunts, this painting will certainly bring forth some of your fondest memories of the Huey and love for the men that flew her. If you watch this video to the very end, you'll understand why this painting is so meaningful. And as you look closely upon it and ponder on its meaning, your thoughts may drift back to Vietnam memories of long ago that are still indelibly etched in your mind. Memories of long ago that seem, when they come forth, as if they just happened the day before yesterday. But first, a few words about the artist. The artist of this piece is a retired Bell Helicopter chief test pilot. In his later years, he has produced a body of work in art that is of a delightful variety. Landscapes and still life and, on occasion, an impressionist dive into some very interesting 19th century Western historical settings. But I have to say, with a smile on my face and a chuckle in my voice, that I get a real kick when I see his young warrant officer chopper pilot attitude pop up suddenly and shine brightly through his art. I crack up every time I see his rendering of Wile E. Coyote. Interestingly enough, in his large volume of work, it is only a few paintings that he draws upon his Vietnam chopper pilot experience. But that's what makes this piece so special. Who is this Vietnam veteran? His name is Sam Boyer III. And on this Veterans Day, I now offer these words to share with you all Vietnam vets, in honor of my fellow Army aviator and good friend, Sam. Dear Sam, the self-portrait you captured on canvas has deeply resonated with me. Sam, I've seen hundreds of photos and paintings over these last 50 years, valiantly attempting to capture on canvas or through the lens's eye the essence of the Vietnam combat chopper pilot. But in my opinion, none have risen to the level of inspiration I found rendered on your canvas. When I first saw your creative expression, I was quickly and deeply drawn into it like no other. In fact, your portrait struck me quite deeply as a very unique, emotional expression of art that represented far more than simply one man's self-portrait. Whether intended or not, Sam, something special is happening in this portrait. It is true, I see plainly the left seat view of a Huey chopper pilot's face looking downward, perhaps intensely involved in some sort of Huey cockpit business. But what I also see is far more than a busy Huey pilot. there's something very striking, something almost spiritual in the subject's subtle facial expression. A solemn, yet very telling expression. As I look more closely, I can see that the something there expressed in the pilot's face delicately captures the spirit, the strength, the grit, and the character of the Vietnam War combat Huey pilot. The emotional impact of this epic piece has compelled me to find a title suitable as a gift to you for this engaging portrait. I feel strongly the need for a title that is befitting as an enduring tribute to all Vietnam Huey pilots. Indeed, a title that would reverently honor those pilots. A single word that would impart naturally and genuinely the emotional expression of your remarkable portrait. An expression of art that captures in just one word both tribute and honor. Well, Sam, my friend, I have finally settled on a title to this grand portrait. I hope you agree. And that title I offer to you today is Duty. Why? Duty? Because I believe a deep and intensely serious sense of duty was an indelible characteristic found in most combat Huey pilots. Duty for the Vietnam Huey pilot meant to rise above all else that is expected in accomplishing the combat mission, and to be exceptional in the fulfillment and performance of the obligations of his duty, no matter the risk. This deep sense of duty captured in your portrait is core to the strength of character and fearless grit of all those young men who were inspired to fly the Huey into fierce battle. These young Huey aviators rose to earn the highest merit of the esteemed war correspondent and renowned author Joe Galloway. Galloway, in a now famous speech given to a large gathering of battle-worn Vietnam veterans, called them all, these helicopter aviators, God's own lunatics. Yes, that's right, he called them lunatics. Lunatics all, he said, who were profoundly dedicated to fulfilling duty's solemn obligation to support and service the courageous infantrymen, the 11 Bravos, the humbled men known by all Vietnam vets as the Grunts. Sam, I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for this exceptional piece of art you created and the legacy it leaves behind for our children and our grandchildren. They will come to know what their fathers or granddad did when they went off to war. Capturing eternally with your heart's delicate brush the spirit, the selfless valor, the bottomless courage of the Vietnam War Huey chopper pilot. Their sense of unequivocal duty. You make all the men who flew this incredible machine proud. Sincerely, your good friend, Bob Crane. Top Tiger 39er, out.